Hey folks, Joe here out of the old workshop again, and just hanging out. Video I've been meaning to do a little bit, talking about fitness kind of stuff, building back up after the stroke and COVID before that as well. So it's been a bit of a process these last few years. Anyways, over the winter and into the spring, the blood pressure was coming back up a ways to a level which I wasn't comfortable with. So I really started upping the aerobic exercise back in May, and I've been doing a bit of riding. But in May, I really picked up the running. I've never really been a runner. I've dabbled with it a few times here and there over the years, but never really been seriously into it. In May, I started to push it a lot more, and that was starting to go pretty good. I ended up upgrading my Strava to a paid membership, and there you can really analyze the data a whole lot more and compare segments and looking at age group stuff as well. How I compare to others in the area in my age group, which is something I never looked at before because I didn't want to compare ages. I just want to compare it overall. That's what I've always been like. Anyways, found that made it really interesting and really started up and running. And in July, I was running about 2 out of every 3 days, up to 4 days in a row at a time. Something I haven't done. I don't know if I ever ran 4 days in a row. Maybe 20 some years ago out in BC doing trail running. I don't know. But anyways, I was really picking it up. The times were improving. I was running faster than I was a few years ago, and I was doing it at a much lower heart rate, much lower perceived effort. So it was all going good. And then the day after a 13K run, I went out for a 5K at sort of a moderate tempo run. And late in the run, I felt a little something in the back of my knee here, right in the back. And turns out I think I injured the meniscus. And tried going for another run a week later, and I got 1.8 kilometers, and it started acting up again. So I backed right off. Haven't run since. That was fairly late June. Yeah, this is July. Keep my days straight. And anyways, that at that point, I dropped the running for a while because it's going to be I wanted that to heal up, not overdo it. So I started biking again instead, and that didn't bother the injury at all. I could bike hard, whatever I want, and it doesn't bother it. So I started picking up the biking, and a couple of days later, that's when I saw a thing come up on Facebook about the charity event for fighting kids cancer, which takes place starting August 1st, runs the whole month. So spur of the moment, I signed up for that. You can pledge whatever distance you want to ride. I think I talked about this in one other video. You can pledge whatever amount you want to try and ride, and it goes throughout the entire month, and how much you want to try and fundraise. So I picked 580 kilometers as the minimum distance to ride for the month, which should be pretty easy, and $1,000 of fundraising. I've already done $275 towards that, and the event doesn't even start for another just over 2 weeks. So far so good. And yeah, it's called the Great Canadian Cycle Challenge, I think is what it's called. I'll put a link down below anyways. Go on, check it out. I started really getting into the biking, and that's going good. I've been riding the Trek 520 mainly, my touring bike, some smaller rides on the Surly Bridge Club, mostly for commuting kind of stuff, running errands. And then on one ride, well, yeah, I mentioned this a couple of videos ago. I was thinking how I wish I still had my old Casati road bike, which I sold 4 years ago. It was exactly 2 days later, it popped up for sale again, and I bought it that day for $100, and I've been working on that off and on ever since. And it's just about up to speed for some rides. I was talking about that again yesterday in update video, so we won't get into that any further. I just wanted to mention the running injury, and then the switch back to mainly cycling, doing more and more of that. And it's brought it's brought the blood pressure way down. A year ago at this time, it was as high as 180, which is just ridiculous. And then by last winter, I'd gotten it down, so it was usually under 140. And then it peaked a couple of times during the winter. Maybe I was pushing a little bit too hard on the weight training and things like that. And I wasn't doing as much aerobically, so it peaked, then started coming back down. There was a few peaks, which is what got me back into really pushing the aerobic, along with a good diet. And now the blood pressure most days is coming in the 120s. It's rarely over 130. I can't remember the last time it's even been as high as 140. And quite a few days now, probably 5, 6 days in the last few weeks, it's been under 120. So that's going really well, and I credit that to the bike and to the running before that. Last fall, I bought a blood pressure monitor so I could test my blood pressure at home, and it's one of the best purchases I've made. Anyways, just wanted to give a little talk about that running, cycling, injury, the charity ride for cancer, Fight Kids Cancer, and talking about the blood pressure and how the fitness and health is improving. Blood pressure is going down. It's all going really quite well. So I'm pretty happy with that. Anyways, I babbled on for enough. This is supposed to be about a 2 or 3 minute video. It's obviously going to be a little bit longer than that. So we're going to cut her off here. I'll get this edited and put together and post this up for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You're all pretty awesome. Catch you all later.